Well, hello, everybody. Welcome back to Cocktails and Rocktails with me, your most notorious groupie, Allison Rouse, doing another noir episode. I did a few of these, so gonna see me in a little black and white. But you know, my world never is black and white. It's more of a cool world. But anyway, welcome back to Cocktails and Rocktails. Your most notorious groupie, Allison Rouse, author of this little book, Not So Little. These are the ones right here. Where you can get that, my merchandise, everything else, go down in that description. Fiddle about like it's the back lounge of a tour bus in the 80s, and you're trying to get a backstage pass. I'm kidding. We didn't do that in the 80s for a backstage pass. We made Metallica do that. Just kidding. Take some of what I say with a grain of salt as a joke. We need to learn how to joke again. It's okay. We can laugh. We can be cool. And speaking of cool and laughter, thank you guys so much for all the love, all the laughter. How many cool people are just hanging out, just discovering the channel, discovering that I used to see James Hetfield. Welcome, you guys. Welcome to the family. Hope you're enjoying. Hope you're meeting, having conversations with the other people. They are some really amazing members and part of the family here. You guys, thank you so much for always being cool. The love, the support. I wish I could give half of what you guys give back to me. And even if I only give half, which you guys, I can't even tell you how much that really truly means. So thank you, everybody, for being part of the family. And speaking of the family, today we are going to finish up a little something that I started last week. That's right. We're going to finish up the rest of Dany's writing. May not be long because it's only a few more pages, but again, if you didn't see the episode before, go watch it. So Dany and I had originally started doing this book together, but life happens, things change, so I ended up going ahead and continuing with the book and everything, and she and I actually started writing it together, and she would start to write something, then I would kind of finish it off. I would fill in certain gaps and stuff, but we were writing it more as kind of an amalgamation truth, but we were marketing it as a fiction, but truth. But so everything's not exactly spot on as it was in my book. So, but we'll explain it as we go along, as I always do, because you know me, I have a few things to say sometimes. But anyway, so all right. And before we get started, we're going to do one of our little locals. These guys are so awesome. This is Saltfire Brewery here in Salt Lake City. If you're in Salt Lake City, different band guys and stuff. We have amazing brew houses here. Go visit them. There's a whole cannery district. The Granary District. But so, all right, this is their dirty chai stout. So it's a little bit of coffee, a little bit of spice, because, you know, Dany loves her coffee and I'm a little bit of spice, so I think this works well. And plus, we're both local in Salt Lake City. Oh, no. The head's coming out before I thought it would. Damn it, Kiplinger. No, I'm kidding. If you know, you know. If you haven't, one of my first episodes was about Kip Winger. Go check it out. Why we make such jokes about him. All right, everybody. So grab your dirties, kick up your feet, and let's have a little cocktails and rocktails. Cheers, big ears. Sorry, I had to pause for a second because I was sneezing, but oh, this is good. You can taste that chai flavor. The coffee is not too strong. I'm not a coffee drinker at all. I tried in high school, but it just wasn't my thing. Made me jittery and sick. I didn't like it. But I definitely like the coffee in my stout, so not a bad thing there. So, all right, we're going to get back to it. We're going to leave off. So we were talking about, let me see. We were talking about when Dany, and this is all Dany's writing, like I said. We were talking about when she and I moved to Salt Lake City, and I guess it was closer. I was talking to her the other day, so I guess it was a lot closer than I thought. I thought we moved there like a year apart. We moved there like 6 months apart. So this is kind of where we are. It's summertime. We hadn't started school yet. My mom was a teacher, so she was getting ready for school. All right, so this is kind of where we're at. Like I said, this is just kind of random writings where we would send each other stuff back and forth and kind of finish it up. So here we go. All right. So she runs upstairs. Oh, geez, sorry. I'm a mess. I need to get a bigger desk. All right. She runs upstairs late as usual. Dany and her mom were already upstairs chatting while her mom cleaned up the dishes from breakfast. Allison, get a move on. You're going to be late again because we had to go register this morning because I know what she was writing it off of. But we were supposed to go register for high school this morning. And I'm not going to keep writing you excuses. Dany winks at her from behind their mother. But you will, she mouths silently. And Dany included this simply because in high school, I made a pretty good living forging everybody's parent signatures for when we sloughed school. Sloughing here is a slang for skipping school. So anyway, my mom and I have the exact same writing. I had Dany's mom's handwriting down. I had so many people's handwriting down. I was the go-to person for people needing fake excuses from their parents in high school. Yeah. All right. And don't forget that I'm going to be late tonight. I have a principals association meeting. Then I have bridge club with Dany's mom and other people that we met at the church because we were Episcopalian, not Mormon. She was saying as she grabbed her purse and looked up from her keys, and if you finish your breakfast, put the dishes in the dishwasher. Have a good day, Dany. Have a good day, Allie. I love you both. She yelled as she walked out the door and left to go. Allison walked to the fridge and grabbed the orange juice and 2 large glasses. What should we do today? She asks. As Dany grabs the vodka from the liquor cabinet, she trips over that rug that Allison's mom keeps insisting on putting there. Klutz, teases Allie, and she still is. She walks over to the radio and turns it on. Smoking in the boys' room. I tell you I was smoking in the boys' room. Hey, Motley Crue, here's an idea. Hire me to sing because it's definitely better than what Vince is doing right now. God, he's a fat piece of shit bastard. I always hated Vince Neil. Then and now. Okay, anyway. So, cheers. They clink their glasses and drink their morning screwdrivers. I don't know. It's too nice of a day outside. It's too nice of a day outside to be stuck in. That's for sure. Outside, the spring air was full of the sort of movement that promised a brand new day. Warm and sunny. Besides, I don't have anything. I just have to go sign up. It's going to take me an hour. What? To get registered for school? And then there's that stupid pep rally. So we could slough all that. Allison cranks the stereo. Now, teacher, don't you fill me up with your rules, 'cause everybody knows that Nicky's got a great big... Oh, that was my version. Okay, anyway. That way does it. It's not that big. It's decent. It's nice girth. But anyway, and she dances all over the place. Allison dances. I don't know if it's just the vodka talking or that great breeze coming through the window, but would you listen to that? Do you feel that music, Dany? I mean, in the very pit of you, do you feel it? Reach down your throat and grab your innards and twist them all around like the best kiss, the kind that really curls your toes. It gives me butterflies. Butterflies! The song comes to an end and the speaker blares with the sound of the DJ. You are listening to K-Bear, and that was Motley Crue, who will be here at the Salt House tomorrow night along with Loudness. Most likely it was Corey Draper. He's been with K-Bear for like 5 million years. I've done a couple interviews with Corey. He's a pretty cool guy. All right. The song comes to an... Oh, Allison jolts up from where she landed on the floor, tired from dancing in circles. A concert, Dany? Oh my God. A concert. We have never been to a concert. Let's go, please. Now, everybody knows. So this is kind of amalgamation because Dany's first concert in Salt Lake City was Motley Crue. Mine with Dany was Rat with Bon Jovi. Like, if you read the book, you know that that's my first concert. And that was the night before our first day at school at Brighton High School. She was a senior. I was a sophomore. So both our moms, we had to beg and beg and beg to let us go to the concert. And back then, this isn't a time when people would stay out general admission and people would camp out the night before a concert to get the best front row Joe seats, you know. So this is back in those days when people were camping out for the tickets, camping out the night before the concert, you know, just hanging out. And our parents let us. You guys want to know about Gen X? Why we're so unchanged? We were camping out at concerts with no parents, no supervision, no cops, no nothing. Just camping out on the street in front of a arena. So yeah, no supervision, nobody, plenty of people with older brothers, sisters, fake IDs and stuff, passing joints. Like, seriously, people used to do this. Like, when we had general admission and when really good concerts were coming out and they were waiting for the good general admission tickets, they would camp out. I remember there was a couple girls that would come down with their RV and everybody would go to the bathroom there. So, yeah. Okay. But Dany and I, we camped out with the band the night before the concerts, usually across the street at the Marriott. Because if you haven't seen it, I'll find it and I'll put a link down in the description. One of my very first bonus episode, actually, my very first Wednesday episode was downtown, going through all the hotels and stuff. So I'll put the link down in the description so you guys can see where I'm talking about when I talk about Salt Lake City. Okay. Yeah, Allison, you have a new shirt for that stupid thing your drama class is supposed to do. Your mom had to pay. Okay, yeah, I know. Download my video. Sorry. All my freaking pop-ups. Okay. Your mom had to pay the insurance. Now the rent's due and we're running out of pot. There's no way we can afford the ticket, and that's if our moms would let us go. We weren't poor. I mean, Dany and I's mothers were both getting like $1,500 a month in child support. We were living at the time in a 3-bedroom, 2-bath. My mom and I were. And so was Dany. So, but you know, you're 15, 17 years old. You don't have a lot of money. And plus it was the night before school. Fuck, man, I'm getting sick of this. So sick of this. All of this talk and, you know, what are we supposed to do? We don't have money for this. We don't have money for that. I'm sick of it. I know, says Dany. I am too. It's harder, you know, just being our moms. That's true. Dany took a drink from her hand and starts making a second drink. They started this little tradition when they first came to Salt Lake City. Making drinks in the morning, nothing else to do, unsupervised. They had met a few people at school when they went for the first pep rally of the year to welcome all the new students. The people at school were hard to get to know, and their mothers were both still recovering from their divorces and spending more time in each other's company, which and rightfully so, because they had each other to lean on. They had both been in the same marriages, both had the same woman destroy their marriages. You know, and like I said, Gen X, we were pretty unsupervised. Our parents either trusted us or just, oh sorry, I just bit my tongue. They either trusted us too much or they just were living their own lives. No, we had great mothers. Both of our parents, our families were very, very good. So, all right. Let's see. Dany actually was the first to take a drink with her to school, but Allison was soon to follow. It got them through the first couple classes with a little effort. They noticed that there were others in classes doing the same thing. They decided early on it was the best way to get through the pressures of such a demanding high school, where you were either the best or not let to forget that you weren't the best. School in Missouri wasn't like that, Dany thought. I've got it, yelled Dany. Allie, remember that time we were at Grand Assembly and we stayed at the same hotel with Van Halen when we met them? Because Dany was there too. Now, she was covering up a little bit more than I was, just simply because, you know, we do have to be careful with our ages and with the guys because we lied and had fake IDs and kind of put the musicians in a really bad situation. So, but Dany was there when Van Halen, she has her own story about that. I can only tell mine, but all right. Yeah, so, well, think about it. I remember them being in the hotel for 2 days. I think one of them even said they weren't playing a show until the next day, right? Oh my God. Yeah, right. So, Dany says, so what are we waiting for? Let's get ready. Let's go down there. We have enough money to get down to the hotel and to buy drinks and dinner. We could just see if they are down there. Yeah, but the only thing is, how will we know if they are there? I mean, we can try to meet them, but let's not get our hopes up, says Dany. 2 hours later, they were made up, drunk, and on their way to downtown Salt Lake City. They didn't know at the time, but they were headed to the Mecca of the groupie capital of the world, according to the rock stars in the 80s. Even Metallica said it in a lot of people. It's in the movie Decline of Western Civilization, which in a movie about LA, the Salt Lake City girls are still very prevalent. So, all right. So, in the extra time that it took Allison to fuss over her hair and lip liner, yeah, that's true, Dani had compiled a list of all the hotels she thought the possibilities of where they would stay based on hotel size and location to the gig. She had these in order of where they were on the bus route, so they were able to cover more quickly, because I didn't have a driver's license. Dani didn't have her car, yet, because we just moved there. So, and everybody was trying to get set up and get their lives figured out. So, like an efficient secretary, Dani had just put it all together. As they climbed on the city bus, the reaction was mixed, but all eyes were fixed on them. Allison and Dani stood between. I'm 5'6", and she's 5'10", so she says 5'7", 5'9", in bare feet. At the stilettos they now wore, and they each stood very slender, 6'1", 6'2", statuesque to be sure. Both had huge blonde hair sprayed solid by half a can of Aquanet. Gen X really did kind of destroy the ozone with our Aquanet use. Not just the girls, the guys did too. The rock stars did too. So let's, we're all in this together. All right. They wore mini skirts with wide, stretchy belts and shirts that were only technically shirts. They were fishnet. You could see more bra than anything else, as was the style at the time. Even though this was public transportation, they had an air of regality about them. All attention was turned towards them in a mix of curiosity and sexuality. As Allison and Dani became aware of this new phenomenon of being stared at, Allison stuck out in her now usual abrupt fashion. "The hell are you people looking at?" Allison said. "Shh," said Dani, all shy. "It's only 11 a.m., and we're in our night rocker clothes, and we're very tall. Of course people are going to look. Besides, we're drunk and happy, so don't let them harsh our buzz." They both sat down at the back of the bus. "Besides," Dani whispered, "pretty soon we might be smoking in the boys' room." And they both sang. The bus pulled up and stopped directly across from the first hotel on her list, the Marriott Hotel. Dani had chosen it first because of its location directly across the street from the Salt Palace. If they didn't find him there, they would go to the next one on the list. As they got off the bus, they felt the cool air hit their bare legs. "Brr, well, at least it's not snowing," said Allison. They turned and looked across the street to all the campers. They recognized a couple people from the registration day and the pep rally, from their school, several in fact. They all kind of stared at each other from across the street. This silent barrier that we didn't know existed till sometime later. Dani and Allie laughed and made their way across the street to the hotel. As they continued on the short walk, cars would drive by, catcalling them out their car windows. With each passing one, Allison lifted her middle finger. "We all have my little middle finger here, right?" Why did I just look like Eddie Izzard? Oh, good God. Okay. Allison lifted her middle finger at them and continued walking, taking drags on her cigarette. They got to the end of the block and turned around the corner where the lobby entrance was. Allison stopped dead in her tracks, let out a gasp. Where was I? And grabbed Dani by the arm. "What?" Dani said, kind of annoyed, looking up from the ground. There, glistening in all the mid-afternoon splendor, in the sunlight, were the tour buses. Scores of them parked up and down the street, the low buzz of the generators, the smell of the diesel fuel, and the big white letters at the top of the window of each bus read, "Somebody Special." Ladies in the 80s, if you know, you know what a tour bus looks like. The Eagles, the Prevos, oh my God. And you could ask any groupie, there's nothing more enticing, hypnotic, just completely consuming. Then when you walk around the corner, and we used to see all the old Eagle coaches and the Prevos just lined up. And at the Marriott, where the tour buses were on that side of the Marriott hotel, was also the hotel bar Bentleys. So the rock stars would be in the hotel bar Bentleys, and it had a tinted window. So you could see out of that window, but we could not see in. So as we were coming by, little did we know we were being watched every single time. Every single time we walked to the Marriott past those buses, the band, they saw us coming. But did they really see us coming? They had no idea they were about to meet their matches. All right. Da, 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 da. Yeah, the low buzz of the generators, the smell of the diesel fuel. You smell it in the morning from the hotel room. You smell it at night when you're on your way to the gig with the band. You smell it when you're cruising down the highway on your first time to Denver with Def Leppard. All right. Now we smelled the plane back then. But anyway, our hearts leapt into our throats. Dany couldn't move, much less speak. They had no idea what this meant at the time, only it felt good, like a game of cat and mouse. And then she says, add something or revise here. And then we kind of go back into the beginning of what she was writing, of how we started the memory, which is when I was meeting with Carolyn Graham over the John situation. So kind of goes back into there. She tapped her nails on the chair and looked up at the woman who sat across from her, staring. Allison wondered for a second what she was like when she was at home. She had told Allison briefly of the love affair with her photographer that she had brought from her from England to L.A., about her mom back in England, about her cat who would stay home and whom she missed greatly. That is part of what made the final decision that she would be the one to tell the story. Allison thought if the woman had a sense of family and love and loss, that she would be able to convey everything in the respectful and gentle way it deserved. From the beginning, when Dany had spoken with her, they immediately liked each other. They had gone to dinner and talked with these. She had even told Allison that she felt the same, that she could trust this Carolyn Graham, which no the fuck we couldn't. One day I will read the, what do you call it? If I can still find it. I think some of it was still stolen from my storage unit. But I'll read the tabloid if I can find it. I'll read the tabloid I was in. Not a fucking thing of what I said. And you guys know me here, how I speak, so it'll be very prevalent. Okay. So they had gone to dinner and talked with these. All four of them had drinks into the night, never once talking about what they knew they were going to talk about. By the end of the night, they all felt like fast friends. That had made this much easier. So this was a game of sorts, Caroline asked as she got up and crossed the room to mix another drink. No, not at all. It became our lives, our family. Oh, this I'm not going to read. It was more than just the band game. Oh, so I'm going to scroll down a little bit more. Whoa, so she added a whole different part that I forgot was at the beginning, at the bottom of this. So basically we were bringing it, we were starting it and when, because I had actually called Dany and she had kind of helped me in a lot of ways because I'm like, what the fuck do I do? I'd called Oris from the room as well. Called up the people that I trusted in rock and roll the most. Cy was already there. He was handling one way. But so Dany and I were basically starting this book from the day we were meeting with the douchebag and her photographer. But, and kind of slipping into the memory and then kind of coming back out of it to the present time of when I was being interviewed for the tabloids. Because some of you just starting to find this channel, you guys don't know, I'm the woman that was with John Entwistle when he died. I've been dragged through tabloids all over the world. I'm still dragged through the mud because people they love the fucking lie. They love the bullshit. So unless If you want to know anything about John Entwistle, even Paul Reese did not talk to me about that book. It's all down there. I've got all these episodes about John Entwistle. I was lied about so much. And Carolyn Graham, when she let out, this was for the Mail on Sunday, owned by Rupert Murdoch, that fucking idiot, that fucking sensationalist, proven time and time again, slandering, liar, defamatory bullshit. But so Sunday, the Mail on Sunday is owned by Rupert Murdoch. So of course this was a tabloid that was going to lie, that was going to make shit up because, like I said, he owns Fox News. He owns several things, not just Fox News, but Rupert Murdoch does have a reputation of being a fucking liar. So when that article came out that Sunday, oh my God, nothing of what I said. Little did we know when we were first meeting up with all this that seriously, I had so many places wiped out. I had friends in Vegas going to all the Borders books and every place I knew this edition was available to buy and wiping them the fuck out. Like, buying them all, I will pay you the fuck back. You know? Because that's how big of a lie it was. That's how humiliating it was. So, yeah, there you go. That's kind of more about the night that Dani and I first kind of stumbled on the tour buses. She wrote it a little different because, like I said, we were kind of amalgamating things. We were going to be kind of making a fiction based on reality, you know, stuff like that. We were even going to change our names at some point. So that's more, and I think there is more. If I can find more, I'll read more. But like I said, she wrote more about a relationship she had for 8 years with a guitar player from a country band. And no, it wasn't Steve Wariner and Toby Keith. It wasn't from that. But yeah, so there's more of her story to be told. There's more stuff out there. I personally think that hopefully this book will get signed to a series or a movie and that the other girls can have their stories told more and in the way they want it to be told. You know, I do include them in my story, but just like Dani's story would center around her, just like Kristen's story should center around, you know, my story kind of centered around my experiences because that's all I can tell. And so Dani and I were coming up with a way to tell both of our experiences in the same story. So that's kind of it. There you go. Like I said, where she gets so many things spot on about the feeling of the time. And yeah, we were bored in the summertime. We were getting ready to go to school. And we kind of just didn't ask our moms. And we just sort of went down, bought tickets to the Rat Show. And yeah, just sort of went the day before school. So, but Dani has a really cool story to tell. Like I said, she's met a lot of bands that I haven't. I've met some bands that she hasn't because she lived in Florida for 8 years. I lived in Vegas for a long time, you know, for 8 years. So we were in different parts of the world still playing the band game. I think outside of like Sweet Connie, Dani and I probably have the most time in the rock and roll scene as groupies. Because, you know, a lot of groupies, they're there for like 3 years, 4 years. They're out. They're done. Dani and I, the second we saw those tour buses and the buses' doors opened and we walked into that hotel bar, it was like Hotel California. You can check out anytime you want, but you can never leave. Pretty much. We're part of it forever. Both of us. So, but all right, you guys, thank you so much for getting to the end of the episode. I hope you really like Dani's stories. I hope you like the way she writes. I think she should, you know, oh, like I was going to say for the, if, you know, this does get signed, then she can tell her story through her character, just like Kristen can tell her story through her character. Because I think it's really important to do that because the story can only grow. It's only my perspective. But so story only has one thing to do, expand into something even more fucking incredible. So thanks again, you guys, for all the love and support. Thank you for getting to the end of the episode. Really appreciate it. I really, truly love each and every one of you. Whether I see you not, whether you're commenting not, thank you for just being here and being part of the family. Don't forget for the nosebleeds, go down, fiddle about, hit the subscribe, hit my bells. Oh, I kind of ran out. So, all right. So if you're just in the nosebleeds, I ran out of time. So if you're just in the nosebleeds and you're not part of the family, you're not subscribed, you're not commenting, come on down, you guys. We've got a lot of really cool people. Hit that subscribe, hit the share, become a member, and hit my bells. And we will see you next time on Cocktails and Rocktails. Cheers, big ears.